Now that we've covered the basic tools and features of Adobe Muse, you should have a good understanding or base level knowledge that can get you started with the app. Here's a few other advanced techniques that you can explore once you begin to build more complex websites in Muse. The first thing I want to cover is called pinning. And what pinning does is it allows you to have elements that are persistent throughout the entire website. So on this example site I have here, you'll notice that as I begin to scroll down, the logo and kind of the navigation bar at the top stays fixed on the top of the browser window. That's because it's pinned. So the way to achieve that in Muse, and I'll just create a rectangle here to kind of simulate a navigation bar. Now I'm going to make sure this rectangle touches the left and right edges of the browser window so it spans the full width. And you'll see if I preview this in the browser just with it as a static box, when I scroll down, it scrolls out of the way. But if I go back to Muse and I go up to the pinning options here and I pin this to the middle top of the browser, then when I preview it in the browser and I scroll down, you'll notice that it's staying visible at all times. So that's called pinning. There's also another unique functionality in Muse called scroll effects, or often known as parallax scrolling. And it's in the panel on the right side here called scroll effects. What this does is it allows you to create unique motion elements in the site. Let me show you an example of how scroll effects work. Here's a MuseThemes template called Fusion, the one we just looked at for pinning. And as I begin to scroll down, you'll notice that these elements kind of float away and disappear. And then these other ones come in below. Those are done using scroll effects in Muse. It's important to note, though, that scroll effects is only available if you're using a fixed width website. If you're doing a fluid width website, then you don't have the ability to implement scroll effects. Another area that can be useful in a Muse site is the ability to embed HTML objects. So this kind of relates to code, but if you go up to the object menu in the top and you click Insert HTML, it asks you to insert some HTML code. Now, what makes this really handy is if you go to sites like YouTube, for example, anytime you see the ability to embed a video. So right there, I have the ability to embed, and it gives us some code. We can actually copy that code, go back to Muse, and paste that code into the Insert HTML window, just like that. Then Muse tries to generate a little preview of what you've just embedded. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you need to be aware that you don't need to worry too much about the preview you see on the canvas. All that matters is what you see in the browser. So let's preview it in the browser, and there's our YouTube video embedded that easily. Now we have widgets that are pre-built that actually improve the embed experience of a YouTube video and make them fully responsive, give you styling controls. So this is just a quick example of that embed HTML option in Muse. As you can see, there are tons of options hidden under the hood in Muse that let you build some really advanced sites. Keep in mind, though, that although something may look cool in the browser, it shouldn't be included if it doesn't improve the browsing experience for your users. Personally, I like simple sites where I can access the information I'm looking for quickly and wouldn't spend a lot of time on a site where elements fly and dance around the page.